Big questions loom for the Philadelphia Eagles as they head into Week 4. With A.J. Brown sidelined for 2 weeks due to a hamstring injury and DeVonta Smith potentially out with a concussion, can the Eagles cope without their star receivers? Stay tuned as we break down the latest updates on Brown's status and what this means for the team's chances against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown has been sidelined for the past 2 to a hamstring injury. With DeVonta Smith possibly out with a concussion, the question remains, will Brown be ready to return in Week 4? Here's the latest update on his status. What's the latest on J. Brown's injury? It's still uncertain if Brown will be ready to play for the Eagles in Week 4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And things aren't looking promising at the moment. Before the Eagles' Week 2 matchup with the Atlanta Falcons, Brown mentioned to ESPN's Lisa Salters that he expected to be out for a couple of weeks, so it wouldn't be surprising if he misses the game against the Bucs. Brown was absent from Thursday's practice, but he did participate in a limited capacity on Friday, which is a positive sign for his recovery. However, it's still doubtful that he will play this weekend. With Smith sidelined by a concussion, Brown potentially unavailable, and Britton Covey out with a shoulder fracture, the Eagles could be without their top 3 receivers on Sunday. With their bye week approaching, the Eagles might opt to be cautious with Brown, similar to their approach with Smith, if Brown also sits out. Who will step in as the starting wide receivers for Philadelphia? Who will step up in Brown's absence? Philadelphia's wide receiver trio of Brown, Smith, and Jahan Dotson was expected to be one of the top units in the NFL. However, after the first 3 weeks, Dotson is the only healthy member of the group, and he has underperformed so far. According to Trumedia, Dotson has run a total of 94 routes over the Eagles' first 3 games. Despite ranking 3rd on the team in routes run, he has only been targeted by Hurts 3 times. Dotson has caught 3 of his 5 total targets for just 14 yards. Given that the Eagles traded a future 3rd-round pick to acquire him, Dotson will need to make a big leap forward with the team's wide receiver cores severely impacted by injuries. Aside from Dotson, rookie Johnny Wilson is the only other wide receiver left on Philadelphia's active roster. While Wilson has shown potential as a strong blocker, he has yet to make a significant impact as a receiver. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni addressed Wilson's development during his press conference on Monday. "I just think he's really tough, first and foremost," Sirianni said. "Talent is just the beginning. It's about how tough you are if you're going to reach your ceiling. Obviously talented and unique. He has unique traits with how big and strong he is, though the Eagles have consistently praised Wilson for his unique skill set since drafting him in 2024. It's now time for him to prove himself as a pass catcher." If Philadelphia's top 3 receivers are unavailable in Week 4, Wilson will likely make his first NFL start. With Covey expected to miss at least 6 weeks, the Eagles will likely place him on injured reserve. In that case, veteran receiver Paris Campbell will probably be signed to the active roster. Campbell was promoted to the active roster in Week 3, where he made 2 catches against the Saints. On 27 routes run, he was targeted twice by Hurts, catching both passes for a total of 13 yards. With the Eagles' bye week approaching in Week 5, they still might have to face the Buccaneers without their top 3 receivers. Philadelphia's starting wide receiver trio in Tampa Bay could be Dotson, Wilson, and Campbell.